we are going to make cheesecake in the pressure cooker, in the quick cooker here. So to get started, I've started a little bit here. We're going to make the graham cracker crumb crust. I've got my manual food processor here, which I use all the time chopping things. If you're dying for the recipe, it comes right in the book that comes along with your quick cooker, which is where I found it. And you want 3/4 of a cup of graham cracker crust. So I think, luckily, this the food processor has some measurements right on it. I'm just going to see that, yeah, need a little bit more. So I'm going to add some more in. This will do it. I thought I might. Break that up in there. Awesome. The manual food processor is actually great because not only can you do your onions or your peppers, whatever you want to chop in there, graham crackers, but you can also do things like, you know, complete salsas or guacamole. The more you use the spring handle, the finer things chop. All right. Now I don't mind a few crumbs in here, but what I'm going to do, because I can take out the blade, let me show you this. This is what makes it work so great, is the tri-action serrated, the tri-level serrated blades. And that's one of the things that works so great. So then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to make sure that I don't have too much in here. Oh, we look about it, right? And I'm just going to pat that down. I want to get all the butter. I'll just grab my scraper and I want to mix that in here. If we need a little bit more, easy enough to grab, but you just want all your graham crackers wet with the butter, right? So that's what we have here. Okay, just wet graham cracker crust. And this is our spring form pan that you can get for the slow cooker, the quick cooker rather. And that's what we're making our cheesecake in. It has that spring release that we'll use when it's done and time to take it out. All right, so I'm just taking that all. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't say to do this in the recipe, but I like to. You can add cinnamon. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar for sure, but you can use, I like to add a little cinnamon. So let's just pat that down. And you just kind of want to make sure it's even, it gets all the way around. Probably the fussiest part of a cheesecake, if I'm being honest. But can you imagine making this for the holidays? So easy while everything else is going on. It takes no time to set up. And you can walk away from it. Love it. All right, now I'm just trying to make sure it's even. I don't have a big center. Make sure I go all the way out to the sides. So I'm going to sprinkle on, you can mix it right in, but I didn't. So I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to mine. Okay, and some cinnamon. Now this is our Karinji cinnamon. It comes from India. It's a premium cinnamon, and let me tell you, your baking, it's essential. Essential for baking along with our bourbon vanilla. Oh yes. Bourbon vanilla is premium vanilla. It's double strength, so you actually only need half the amount of vanilla that you would normally use. And of course it's pure extract, right? It's not the imitation that you find in most stores. So there's our graham cracker crust. In my mixing bowl here, I have my 2 packages of cream cheese. I've got a tablespoon of cornstarch, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of sugar, and that's all that is, guys. It's pretty simple. So we're going to put that right on top. Now what's great about the quick cooker too is that on the sear setting, we're going to be able to make the strawberry topping. So kind of a one pot dessert. Usually we say 1 pot meal, but this is a 1 pot dessert. Look at this. I almost just want to eat it out of the bowl, but I'm pretty sure that's taboo. All right, so I'm just going to pat that down right around my form here. Now you'll see a little bit of lumps in here, but that's okay. Like let's be realistic here. I could have let my cream cheese sit a little longer to soften, or I could have maybe, you know, softened it up a bit in the microwave, but I don't find that it matters. So save the spoon for later. I gotta lick the spoon, right? All right. That goes there. Then we're just gonna saran wrap this. Now the thing with pressure cooking is that you're using steam, right? So it's a very healthy way to cook, but you want to ensure that you've got liquid in there whenever you're making something. So like, for example, when I said the chicken breast that you could put in there, you put that in there with a cup of salsa, all right? And that'll be your liquid. And in fact, you know what? I don't think I made that big enough. I just want to make sure that this is securely wrapped, so we'll use that piece for something else. All right. So, yeah, you're always going to use that because it's going to turn that water into steam, and that's what cooks your food. When you release pressure in your quick cooker, you have a manual release, which is pressing that button as soon as the time is up, or you can have it naturally release, recipes will call for, which is canceling the timer once it's over and just letting the unit and the food inside come down in temperature, releasing the pressure without you having to do it manually. So it takes a little longer. Sometimes people do that with rice just to finish it off. We have our rack here. I use this also with the, I should get it out, the other little dish, which allows us to cook two things at once in our quick cooker. We make a teriyaki chicken recipe, so we'll put the chicken in the bottom of this pot here, and then we put the stand in over top the chicken, and now I have a whole nother level to cook in, which is great if you're going to steam your vegetables or you want to do your rice in the ceramic pot. All right, so we've got our lid on here. It's just going to sit right on and rest on there. Fold in those. I'm going to check the recipe one more time because I have not done this as many times as I would like to. So it says just pour the water. So I did already have 1 cup of water in the container, just to be clear. And then we put the wire rack in, which I showed you, and then the cheesecake on that second level that we created. We're gonna lock this lid, which is just listening for the beep. Okay, 1 second. Listen for the beep. Oh, well, it helps if it's plugged in. I unplugged it for my mixer. Okay, so this lets you know when you've locked something or unlocked it, that little beep there. And then we're just going to literally turn the dial, guys, to dessert. Let's see where we're at. We're at seafood, soup. Ooh, soup, great one to make in here. And stew, and 1 more for dessert. And press start. It's that easy. So I've made sure that my lid is down, my button is up. That means it's locked and all the steam is going to build within there and not escape, okay? And we're going to press start. It's going to come up to temperature. The timer, preset timer will run, and then we'll be back to take it out and show you what's next. Okay, so now that the timer has gone off, it called for a 10-minute natural release, which meant I hit cancel on the timer and I just let the unit cool down. I can see that I did press the release button at that point, and now that the little red indicator has dropped, I know that I can remove this lid. If that red indicator was still up, for safety reasons, you wouldn't be able to open this. So it's a really, really safe unit. A lot of people sometimes are nervous with pressure cookers, but you don't need to be. All right, so I'm taking that off. I'm gonna use my little micro grips here to grab these hot handles. Ooh. A little extra steam on top of that. All right. Now this has got to go into the refrigerator. It's going to go in for 3 hours, or you could just do it at night. But can you see that there? It's going to firm up now in the fridge. And then we'll be able to take another look at that. It's delicious. And we're gonna need to make some strawberry toppings. So we'll be back to do that and finish that right in the slow cooker, quick cooker. All right, guys. So like I said, we can finish off the strawberry topping right here on the sear setting in our quick cooker. So I've put in there, I've dissolved 2 teaspoons of cornstarch into 2 tablespoons of water. Put that in with half a cup of sugar, 450 grams of frozen strawberries, and I just letting it gel out. Come take a look. Letting it just kind of gel up, thicken up on that sear setting. All that water is going to evaporate, and then you get them all melting down when they're nice and soft. All right, all we need to do now is let this cool in the fridge alongside the cheesecake itself. So we're going to scrape that out. You want to get all that goodness, which is why I like these scrapers. The other thing with the scrapers, guys, I have so many of them because they're always in use. They don't melt. The heads don't pop off. You can stir all your cookie dough this season and not leave the head in your batter. And they don't melt and curl, so it's really fantastic. Let me see if I can get all this goodness up there. There we go. I want all that syrup, wouldn't you? All right, so in my silicone storage container there, with 1 pot, we've made some cheesecake, and I'll be sure to show you a picture. Put my lid on. The lids fit really nice and tight, so if you have little children or little babies and you're looking to make baby food, great idea to get the blender and these storage containers that go right in the freezer. And they line up so nice, and there's even a stand for some of the silicone lids as well. So I'll put that in, and I'll be sure to show you guys a picture as well as this video. Okay, thank you.